sea turns to brown as the sun burns the ground. And my eyes filled with sand as I scan this wasted land. Trace like thoughts inside a dream. Here's the path that led me to that place, yellow desert screen. My Shangri-La beneath the summer moon, I will return again. And the dust that floats high in June when they're moving through me.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Skate Art stream. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing on this fine Monday? And I say fine as in, like, not that it's great, it's just fine. How do I sound? Do I sound okay? I have a little bit of a cold today. Lord of Swarm says, I can't help but think of the song by P. Diddy that sampled this on the Godzilla soundtrack. Oh my god. You like that version more than this version? Get out! It's cold. It's chilly here in Chicago. It's chilly, but I'm not going to complain too much because, you know, where Allison is, they have snowbanks. We don't have snow yet. We had a little bit of, like, frost, a little bit of snow, just a teeny bit of about a week ago, maybe. So we're doing okay on that front. What's up, Jeremy? Shaman King, They Call Me Mags, Great Indoors, Aves Pantera, I Kiss BBWs. Who else is in here? I think that's everybody. Oh my god, how do I get out of this? Shit. This thing is fucking buggy as fuck. Fucking YouTube. It's such a piece of shit. I remember when YouTube was like a wonder, a technological wonder. It changed everything. It's trash now. Anyway. So I'm inking in my roller derby girls for fun. I kind of like the way these came out. Thought I would do some inks. What'd you guys do over the weekend? I spent most of my weekend working. We did a lot of like rearranging around the house that we had to do. But I'm happy with the result. My office studio where I'm at right now just got like a makeover, more or less, and it's a lot nicer than it was. Before it was like part studio, part storage area. So I'm happier with the way it turned out. For those of you who are just now, you may not know this, this coming Thursday, I am doing a request stream, art request. So if there's anything that you want me to draw for you, send me a donation, and then depending on the amount, that's how much time I'll spend on it. Unless I just really have a lot of fun with it and I decide to go longer, but I can't guarantee I'll do that. It all depends. I tend to do figures best. And a lot of people like the way I draw girls, so that's just something to consider, although I don't know that that necessarily is a strength. I just think it's what people like. And maybe they just like girls. Maybe it's got nothing to do with the way I draw them. Hey, Beta Mosquito. Ran 10 kilometers. Wow. We used to go to the gym back when we didn't have a dog, or my dog Leslie, my old dog who passed away last year. Press F for Leslie. We used to go to the gym, and we can't do that now just because there's just no time. So my wife is going to get weights. She's going to order some weights when she gets back. She wants to do strength training stuff. That was what we went to the gym and did mostly. Especially her. She does a lot of squats. And I don't have a problem with her doing squats because I like the end result. And so she's gonna get some kettlebells. They're like on sale at Walmart. We don't have like, because we're in an apartment, so we can't get like a full set because, I don't know, she's just worried that it won't be able to support the weight, but I think that it will. I think it just comes down to like, you know, that's weight. Men are too angular. I can draw both. I think with men, you have a little bit more room to play. I mean, with aesthetically, I think men have more room to play. Because the thing is, with women, there's like this, you know, there's that hip to waist ratio thing that, yes, you can have a little bit of variation in it, but generally you need to apply to it. Male attractiveness doesn't work necessarily the same way. I mean, there is like an ideal, but you can play around with it more. You know? Gives us more room to play creatively. Clearly, Brian is a man of fine taste. I am. You can see it in my characters. Like, by default, when I draw women, they tend to be thick, and I have to kind of, like, train myself out of doing that. I'm a man of culture. Did Brian settle on any roller derby names? Maybe, but I'm not going to give anything away yet. Let's put it that way. Triangle instead of hourglass. Nothing's wrong with thick, bro. Most men, I think, agree. Look at... You know how feminists are always complaining that it's the patriarchy that creates these, like, you know, unrealistic body expectations of women, and they use modeling as like that's like their go-to example. That's incorrect. Models are not for men. Models are for women. If you want to know what men's tastes are, okay? If you want to know what men's tastes are, look at porn. And who are the most popular porn stars? What are the most popular searches? I think it's like Latina and like MILF and like BBW and shit. I mean, maybe not like, not fat women, obviously, but thicker women are way more popular in porn. Like, way more popular. That's what men like. Otherwise, people like Alexis Texas wouldn't be, you know, wouldn't be like considered top of the line. Yeah, models are essentially clothes hangers. That's all they are. And they're mostly, the standards on models is mostly decided upon by women and gay men. Those are the people who decide that. So it's got nothing to do with men's tastes at all. Like, literally nothing to do with it. Girl Next Door. I don't know what you mean. Is that like the most popular searches? Are they still thick though? That's the question. Stapler has nice curves, yes. I'm pretty lucky. Actually, Honey Badger would be a good roller girl name. It would. I wouldn't use it though. You don't want every female character to have the same body. No, I don't. No. It's just like, it's, you know, if I'm drawing a woman and I'm not thinking about it too much, they're going to probably, like, turn out you know, vaguely, like, relatively similar with some proportional decisions. But when I'm making characters, I'm actively thinking about their body proportions, whether they're male or female. And I try to, you know, to apply that to stay on model as much as I can. Fat bottom girls make the rocking world go round. That's right. Even gay men like Freddie Mercury understood that. Don't date a Latina woman. They're all unhinged. You know, it's funny. I'm a Puerto Rican guy, and I've only dated a Hispanic girl once for a very short time, and it wasn't because I didn't like them. It was because this was like their I don't know, they have weird preferences, man. They didn't like me, I guess. So I actually did better with black women and white women. One of my best times I ever had was with a girl from Moldova. Moldova? Yeah. I mean, sexually. I mean, her personality was great too, but the age difference was way too much. She's a great person, though. She's gonna make a guy really happy. My neighbor's derby name is Joan of Snark. Oh, your neighbor has derby names. Pretty much all comic characters are really hot. Well, I mean, yeah, people want to see things that are aesthetically pleasing. It's like they're really hot because for the same reason that most people on TV or in film are pretty attractive, right? And even if they're unattractive in an appealing way, if that makes any sense. Like, for example, you know, Freddy Krueger is not a good-looking guy, but he has a good look, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I live next to a roller derby girl. Well, you know, you should, if you ever talk to her, you should ask her, like what she calls, you know, what the name of their little roller derby clique is, and like some of the names of some of her favorite names of other gangs. I'm just curious, or teams, or whatever they call it. They call it a gang. Good in bed equals good at hacking up bodies. Yeah, designing appealing characters isn't just about making them hot. No. Mad City Rollers. So, this Friday, we have a fundraiser. It's a little one. I'm not asking for a lot. To send me to Toronto on Friday to try to get interviews at Warren Farrell's new event, right? And it's in the University of Toronto, if I remember correctly. Well, I know it's in Toronto for sure. And you should check it out. Now it's significant because It's the same place that... Do you guys remember... This is old, but it's still like... I think a lot of people still remember it. Do you remember the video of a bunch of women, well, feminists, let's put it that way, protesting outside of Warren Farrell's speaking event? And there was a one girl there. They were like yelling at these men that were trying to get in and blocking their way, and there were cops out there. And there was this one girl that was like, fucking scum. Rape apologist, incest supporting, fucking scum. And there was a guy who was like, I just want to like hear what they have to say. Fucking scum! You remember that? This is the same place. So this is like that place, but this year. And we're curious if there's going to be any protesters, which is why I'm going. Maybe to talk to some people. This is what men's rights look like. Yeah, that's right. Master Rogue. Doge, I've been considering a drawing that's kind of your Doge and Bombshell type drawing, but with my character Sam and maybe a Badger version of me, so Sam and Rogue. Well, yeah, that sounds good. Thursday. I'll be on for 3 hours. Allison already beat $10 out of me. She cornered me with the Direhawks board. Oh, in the Direhawks board. Okay. I don't think Buscemi is that bad, but I don't have the most standard taste in men. Well, Buscemi, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned Steve Buscemi, because I used to use him as an example of what hypergamy really is and what female attraction is. If you look like Steve Buscemi, you're not going to do that well sexually, because he isn't a good-looking guy. But if you are Steve Buscemi, then you're going to be fine. Because you're Steve Buscemi. And it's not even about the money that much. It's about the status, you know. I watched this thing, Owen Benjamin. He's in the middle of, I'm watching a video that he put up, I think yesterday, where he's talking about all the alpha beta stuff. And he's saying some interesting stuff, but I don't think he gets women. In that he seems to like be leaving out their part to play in sexual selection, which always, you know, it always bugs me when people do that, you know, like, especially people that I like and respect. And I do like Owen Benjamin. I do respect him. And I know that he's still on his journey, right? To figure this stuff out. But stop leaving women out when you're talking about responsibility. Or, you know, like if you're going to talk about the problems with people, you gotta, women are people too, so you have to include them in that, right? It kind of bugs me. Yeah, Danny DeVito gets mad poon. That's right. It's because he's Danny DeVito. But if you were just some guy who looked kind of like him, you're not going to do that well. Prim's been super busy, so could you do it? Yeah, I can do it Thursday. Hey, Zen Man. Women's sexual selective pressure is stronger than men's. Way stronger. It actually impacts the future. You know, if you want to, like, if you really believe that you're trying to figure out why we are where we are, and you haven't included women's part to play in it. Oh, I like the broken nose thing. I'm gonna leave that. And you haven't included women's part to play in that process, okay? Then you're not thinking. Like that's women are the ones that pick men. They're the ones. So every man that's reproduced up until this point, for the most part, was selected. There's a few that have raped a woman, but that number's so small, it's like, it's not even worth mentioning unless you're just like some fucking, you know, asshole that has to, like, you know, try to minimize the real impacts of women. I date like a man. It's the best way to find a companion you actually want to be around. Beta Mosquito, are you a woman? Maybe Beta Mosquito is saying that she's a woman. Beta Mosquito, what are your pronouns? I think Beta Mosquito is a woman, if I remember correctly. So maybe what she's saying is she's assertive. Which I'm sure most men, some men might find intimidating, but I think most men would be really refreshed. We have twice as many female ancestors as we have male ones. Yes. Women have power. You take that away. You take away the fact that, you know, sexual selection has a lot to do with us as we are today. You're not looking at the whole picture, you know? Don't play that game. Yeah, Beta is a lady. Okay, I thought so. So if that being the case, Beta Mosquito is simply saying she does the initiation. She risks... I'm guessing she's saying that she risks the, you know, rejection, right? By just being upfront. There are no girls on the internet, lol. Yeah. Pragmatism? I like Beta Mosquito. I think she's good people. Going after people based on their personality alone and taking your goddamn time so the genetics won't drive you towards a crazy person. Yes. I am the sex pest. Excuse me, sir, but do you have some dick? I'm looking for dick. Do you happen to know where I can find him? We're all NPCs down here. Yeah. Whew. So anyway, I'm going to that on Friday if we raise enough money, which I think we will. It's not going to be a big deal. But unfortunately, I have to go by myself. So, is anyone in Toronto that can help me? They can help me with camera equipment? Or anyone want to go to Toronto and meet me there? Men should reject. They should reject more often, but they have a problem with, like, being too thirsty on average. And, like, too willing. And that's the thing, you know what it is, too? Men are made to feel as though if they get sex, it makes them better people. Like, that makes them better men. And that pressure comes from men, but also from women. In fact, probably more so from women, because that's why women are so good at sexually shaming men for either not being able to get sex or not being good at sex or whatever it is that they're choosing to use at the time. And what men need to realize is that they actually do have power. It's just not sexual power. It's more like, you know, the saying goes, a woman is the gatekeeper to sex. And that's true, right? But a man is a gatekeeper to commitment. So if a woman, like, she can give him sex, right? But that doesn't mean that he stays with her. He has to realize that the commitment is on him. In general, you know. Those aren't eyes. They're little studs, but okay. So, you know, we do the dog boarding stuff here. The guy who, hey, hold on, 25 minutes. The guy who, sorry, hold on. The owner of Max, who's staying with me, 25 minutes. Oh, yeah, that's fine. He's coming to pick up Max at 1 o'clock. So I have to be ready to give it to him. So I'll have to, like, end the stream at 1. So I got, like, a half hour. You're a little stud, Brian. I wouldn't say little. Although I have been losing weight. Punk goth chick with home problems. To be honest, I would be immediately suspicious of any woman who approached me, especially given my history or lack thereof. I know it's not easy when men's worth is actually under attack. So, MGTOW, right? Well, I think that being, like, you know, wary is definitely fair, whether you're male or female, right? But I think that, you know, I guess I'm the kind of person that's like, okay, I'll hang out with you, I'll talk with you, I won't do anything that will, you know, put me at risk. But I don't want to, like, completely close myself off either, right? So I honestly don't know what this is. I just drew it. It's not... What is that guy name? That guy's name is Doro or something like that. It's not meant to be that. But I guess it's kind of like a nod to it in a way. I just wanted to put a crazy face on the shoulder pad. Here's some damage. Shows it's been through some shit. Let's see. That's 1 Central Time. Yeah. I thought the comedian from Watchmen. Oh, they don't even look the same. Yeah, it's not even a smile. It's more like a rawr face. Be afraid. Meanwhile, on this side, draw the other one. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to finish this. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Let's see. We'll see. I'm always changing my mind about shit. So, I can't, like... I don't know, I can't stay focused on, like, what I... Well, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying I can't stick to one thing. It takes a while for me to be happy with a design. So, these could change. What the fuck? I can't talk right now! It's not a good time. What's going on? Sorry, guys. Alice was trying to call me all of a sudden. That was the middle of my stream. Just check here. Guest stream. All right. All right. Anyway. Best wishes, same plan. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Skype call rip. Yeah, I called it. Allison's trying to like figure out time, if the time is okay for me to go up there. So I'm leaving in the morning. Fucking give me a break here. Okay. I'm the same way with designs. I'm super indecisive and change my mind a lot before I settle. Yeah. The same way. I mean, eventually I'll have something nailed down, cause like one of the things I do is like I want to do too much, you know, like and the designs don't. It's not that they become overworked, but it's sort of unworkable if I'm gonna be making a comic and there's lots of details. So I have to cut it, because then you have to draw these things over and over and over, and it just creates a lot of work. It's good for like a single pinup image. But you don't want to, like, you know, have, I don't know, like, you don't want to have too much. That's what I'm getting at. Too much design. Even if it is, you know, good enough for a single, like, image, but not for, like, an ongoing thing. If that makes any sense. Who's Kelly Starr? I'm not gonna search for it. Ex-porn star. Oh, okay. If you're an ex-porn star... Well, I guess people can still find your work. It's just weird, you know? I figure everybody would be, like, just looking for new stuff. I know some retire, like, pretty early, too, right? Like Mia Khalifa. I guess she got what she wanted. You know, sometimes it bugs me that like the media will celebrate porn stars because they happen to have like, you know, I don't know, like MA, like master's degrees and stuff. And, like, it's like they're trying to break some strange stereotype about porn stars being dumb. And I mean, I get it in a way. Like, I don't want to stigmatize people like for whatever job they want to do, but so what? Like, you know, it's like making a big deal out of I don't know, like a black person that gets a PhD. Like they need to celebrate it. It's like, yeah, black people can get PhDs. It's like, why are you making a big deal out of it? You know, it's just, it's weird. I don't really dig that much. Frankly, I don't care. They still suck dick for money. You don't have to be a genius to make that decision. You also don't have to be stupid either. In a nutshell, don't draw 4 comic books worth of character to find the one design you like to get. Only one comic book out of it. Who turned Muslim? I tend to favor more simple / streamlined designs in general. Characters can become over-designed really easily, and I see that a lot in video games. Yes, absolutely. Brie Olson, I remember her. She used to live with Charlie Sheen for a bit. Flying out of Toronto and in Chicago at 4:09. Okay, sounds great. Then there's these same super smart porn stars making an ad about the wage gap. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a woman who got to get a master's degree, yeah, and decided not to use it. Exactly. Or, you know, they use their porn career to pay for their tuition. And they act like it's a genius move. Wow, that's really smart. It's like, yeah, but strippers do that shit all the time, too. Again, the only thing that you're revealing is that when it comes to paying their tuition, women have more options. Like, okay, we knew that. Like, whatever. Are you talking about, what? Sinead O'Connor turned Muslim. Yes, sure. I like Overwatch in general, but I find Blizzard really has an issue with over-designed characters. Even some of the more simple characters suffer from it. Yeah. I agree with that. Uh-oh. Could Max's owner be here? If it is, I have to step away. Jojo! 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 Quiet! Sorry, guys. I gotta see what Jojo's barking at. I'm just gonna finish this really quick first. Well, maybe we got a few more minutes. Hold on. I'm just going to try and color this in. This is how I get. I got to like finish this thing I'm doing before I move on to the next thing. All right. zoom out a bit. Oh, it's the phone. I'll be right back, guys. Okay? I'll be right back. Oh, sorry about that, guys. The owner of Max showed up earlier than I thought he would. Stan Lee? Stan Lee's dead? Are you serious? Fuck off. I'm gonna like check. I'm gonna check. Stan Lee's dead? Oh man. Oh, fuck. He's dead. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, man. I mean, we knew it was coming, but Jesus. You're just, you're never ready. Son of a bitch, man. I just looked it up. He is dead. He is dead. I'm just... I'm taken aback by this. Well, I gotta think about this for a second. Alright, I gotta keep going. Stan Lee, man. That guy was my hero. I mean, I knew it was gonna happen. But, when you think about all the bullshit going on in his life, with like his fucking crazy ass daughter, and all these people like trying to get their hands on his estate, and then what's going on in his company, or the company that he built, and how SJWs are fucking destroying it. And this is how he leaves. And also what's going on with his properties in the film. You know, which are great movies, or at least most of them are. But now the virtue signaling bullshit is starting up. And of course they tried to use these people to like get everyone to vote a certain way and shit. And they dragged him into all this bullshit. I am fairly certain the guy died under a lot of stress. Oh, Stan Lee death hoax dismissed? Is he not dead? Well, Yahoo.com is saying that he's dead. And a bunch of other websites are saying it too. Press E to Excelsior, yes. Hoax dismissal had today's date? What do you mean? If they digitally add a cameo to Captain Marvel, I'm lighting the theater on fire. Fuck Captain Marvel. Honestly. Oh, fuck. I'll go a little bit longer since I had to go let the Max go. Wikipedia has a death date as today. Yeah, he must be dead. I think he's dead for real. Jeremy, they likely already filmed it if they're going to at all. Yeah, if anything, the if they're done shooting Infinity War Part 2 or whatever the fuck, Avengers 5 or whatever, if they're done with that and they're done with Captain Marvel, the shooting, I think Captain Marvel comes out before Infinity War 2, so they definitely are further along in the shooting of that. Then the Stan Lee cameo is probably already in there, and they're just doing post now. I want to light Captain Marvel on fire anyway. Fair enough. Oh, you know. What's the deal with Captain Marvel? Are they already fucking it up? Oh, it's hard to say. Like, it's the actress. What's her name? Alison Brie or something? I almost said Brie Olsen. That might have been. I think she's probably a better actress that can like emote more. But Alison Brie seems to be the thing that most people are worried about because she's just like fucking wooden as shit. And I just don't think I haven't seen anything from her that tells me that she's a good actress. So I guess there's that. And of course, Alison Brie's been doing a bit of virtue signaling about, you know, like movie reviewers shouldn't be so white and male, but that doesn't really matter in terms of like how good the movie's gonna be because, you know, Mark Ruffalo is the biggest fucking cuck ever, and he's in good movies. So as long as they shut the fuck up and entertain us, which is their job, I don't think we're gonna have a problem. Brie Larson. Brie Larson. Okay, what did I say? Did I say Alison Brie? Alison Brie's the chick from Community with the big tatas. I got my Bries mixed up. Alison Brie is a lady from Community. Yeah. Annie's getting torn up in this video. Who's Annie? What video? Mark Cuccolo. Guy's a dick. He doesn't even know it. He thinks that I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. The guy virtue signals like nobody's business. And the thing is, like, okay, you know, it's not just him, right? Don Cheadle, who plays War Machine, is a really bad SJW, and fucking everyone who was in Black Panther is everyone who was in Black Panther. It's like the shit that they talk about that they think is happening. It's like not based in reality. It's not based in reality. Do you remember when they tried to come out and tell you guys who to vote for in 2016? For those of you who are Americans, anyway. Fucking stupid. Poor Jojo. Poor Jojo. He's so sad. His best friend Max went home, and they played all day. Jojo's just laying here. Just so sad. Hi, Jojo. I love you still, Jojo. I know you don't have Max anymore, but you still have me. Poor Jojo. He's so sad. Annie Wokey. Yeah. Soy Goy. Rip Stan Lee. Yeah. Damn, man. That's... I mean, you know it's coming, but you're still not ready. Still not ready for it. Oh, man. I'm gonna put a spike in the front. Because fuck it. Feel sorry for those poor, poor millionaires. Yeah, really. Actually, I kind of do. I think that their world is so twisted, you know? They don't know, like, they're like out of touch with reality. That's gotta be depressing. Especially when somebody points it out to you and you're like I watched this thing, it was kind of interesting. Again, I was watching Owen Benjamin, and sometimes I think he's just really out there. Like, he goes down rabbit holes, and he comes back, and he's just a little bit, you know, out there. I'm not gonna say wrong. I'm not gonna say crazy. I'm not gonna say that, because he might be dead on, right? I have to be open to the possibility. But he was talking about the pedophiles in Hollywood, and there was this video clip that he showed that's like old of like Leonardo DiCaprio when he was really young, hanging out with I don't know, some guy, some producer or something, and he was basically telling us about how, or telling his people, it was on one of his streams, his Owen Benjamin streams, but he was talking about the guy that Leonardo DiCaprio is being featured with in this video, and this guy is like a serial, like, you know, child molester that has a job in Hollywood. And I mean, you know, imagine my shock and all that. I'm not surprised by it, but then he makes an interesting point that I never considered before. In that video clip, Leonardo DiCaprio is being, you know, sort of told by this creepy dude that, you know, that he's hunky. That he's like a hunk, right? And this is, DiCaprio's really young. This is like, you know, What's Eating Gilbert Grape DiCaprio, right? When he was a kid. And he goes, oh, I don't know about that, you know, DiCaprio says. And he's like, I think that that's like, you know, Kirk Cameron, right? And Kirk Cameron, for those of you guys who are too young to know, Kirk Cameron was the son on, I think it's, was he on Family Ties or Growing Pains? I think it's Growing Pains. Family Ties is the one Michael J. Fox. So he was like the son from Growing Pains. And back then, like they had these family sitcoms, right? And I don't know if you noticed that, but in all these old family sitcoms, there was like, you know, a father, a mother, and then their kids. And a lot of times the boys and the girls would become kind of like heartthrob figures, but especially the boys. Especially the boys. And Kirk Cameron was, in fact, a big heartthrob figure in the 80s who was on that show. And Owen knows a lot of people in Hollywood because he used to be in Hollywood a lot, right? And he was telling us on the stream something that I thought was very interesting. He said, you know, Kirk Cameron converted to Christianity. He became born again, and he got out of there. You don't see him. He doesn't get work in Hollywood anymore, right? And Owen was saying that that was actually a good thing, that Kirk Cameron had escaped the same kind of predatory, creepy shit that goes on in Hollywood, and he found God or whatever, to do it. But the important part isn't whether, it's not about God, really. What I'm talking about is more about, you know, I was led to believe an idea about Kirk Cameron, which is that he's fucking crazy and, you know, you should dismiss him or whatever, by the media, because that was what they did. They criticized him after that. I don't know if you guys, again, I don't know if you were around for this, but they did. They called him a nut job, that he got religious, and, you know, they were going to stop, you know, he suddenly was no longer in the limelight. Suddenly, no longer a teenage heartthrob. And I think that that's interesting. That's all I'm saying. I think it's an interesting coinky-dink. I'm saying it gets the noggin jogging. As it were. But I find it, you know, it's, and what does DiCaprio do now? He's kind of a mouthpiece for social justice, right? Like when he goes to I think he was The Revenant, which is a good movie. I liked it. When The Revenant won an award, DiCaprio used it as use his, you know, his win as a sort of means to discuss climate change. And he was trying to make the case that, you know, because he was in Canada and when they were shooting, and it was too warm and the snow wasn't sticking to the ground. Like it was just melting even though they were in the mountains, right? And he was saying that proves that climate change is real. When in fact, what was happening was there was a Chinook. And in Canada, like in Alberta specifically, they get Chinooks, and the Chinooks are like warm. It's like a warm spell that comes over the area. It's natural. It happens all the time. In the middle of the winter, you'll get like a warm day, you know, or at least a slightly warmer day. So, anyway, I want to see what you guys are. So how much for anything with old Stan's autograph? Oh shit, it's probably like a lot. Instagram has revealed things about actresses that I liked that I would never have known. Like Lindsay Lohan going completely nuts and becoming a weird-ass Arab suddenly and like speaking the language and shit. Protecting Pakistan. Do you remember that? The fuck? Lindsay Lohan has lost it. And I wonder, when I think about this stuff that Owen was talking about, I wonder how much of, though, like if that kind of stuff is going on, I wonder if that's not what's fucking people up. Especially young, you know, attractive actors and actresses. Chris was getting those texts from J-Law though, wasn't he? Can't be all that bad. F for respects, E for Excelsior. Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers them telling us who to vote for. Yeah, it didn't work, did it? I love the response video made by regular ass people. He gets so angry about pedos. Yeah, he does. Kirk Cameron is a creepy religitard. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen much of him, so that I haven't followed. Grooming pains. That's good. Oh my gosh, that's awful and hilarious. Brubaker used pedo wood in the fade out. I wasn't expecting that. DiCaprio didn't know what a Chinook was. Yes, you're right. He didn't know. They diddled social justice into him. I don't know. I don't know. I thought a Chinook was a type of helicopter. Chinook, I think, is actually like a native word. Canadians are they're very submissive to native stuff. They feel they constantly talk about how bad they feel about having stolen the land, quote unquote. They do it way worse than we do. Way worse. We're less ashamed of slavery than they are of taking the land from natives, or what they call First Nations people. I don't know if there's anything to that theory about Kirk Cameron, but he's not a person I have any respect for. He definitely should be criticized for his views, in my opinion. No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying that. I just think, what if... I mean, I don't... Again, I have no evidence. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking out loud here, you know? But, like, if Cameron was diddled, and then it drove him towards Christianity, we could blame... theoretically, like it was kind of a 180 though, wasn't it? I mean, he just went from being like, you know, teenage heartthrob to super religious nut job. So like, what caused that? Like, you either, and what's the difference between a Christian religious nut job and a social justice religious nut job? Like, really, what's the difference? Except that Christian nut jobs actually can't, like, you know, put their shit into law because we have this thing called separation of church and state. All child actors were abused, probably. I bet there was probably an attempt on 99% of them. That Lohan video was hilarious and sad. Yes, she's really fucked up. It's kind of like when Satoru Iwata died. Who's Satoru Iwata? I'm gonna look this up. I know the name from somewhere. I swear to God I know the name. I'm glad that Araki's probably never gonna die because I think that guy's fucking immortal. Oh yeah, that's right, the Nintendo guy. Yes, I made a piece of artwork for that. Did Lindsay ever have it? Lindsay Lohan have what? Yes, during Mean Girls. I mean, there's a... I'll tell you this, but let me just read the rest of these comments. She was hella cute back then. Oh my God. Lindsay Lohan was like, in her prime... that's all I gotta say. There's definitely not much separating the religious nuts from the SJWs. Yeah. Stream's gonna end in a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna end in a bit here. I'm just gonna finish doing these tears in the nylons, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's make sure that I didn't forget any details. Okay, let's zoom out. Look at it from afar. And I'll turn off this. It looks good. There was something that somebody said, Lindsay is cray-cray. Yes, she is now. I mean, well, maybe she's always been a little bit. I mean, who knows, right? Like, it's like we don't know these people. That's why I don't understand why people, like, listen to them at all. Like, celebrities are pretty fucked up in general. I mean, no, maybe no more than the average person. But then, like, do we give the average person more credibility? No, I think we give that to experts, to people who know what they're talking about, to people who do the work. Celebrities are just mouthpieces. Let me see. Somebody said something I wanted to talk about. I just gotta go back and find it. You said she lost it. Did she ever have it though? Oh, you're talking about her mind. I mean, she seemed pretty normal during, like, you know, Mean Girls and stuff, but when she was a teenager, and I think that she had, or maybe like her like early 20s. I don't know when she did Mean Girls. She probably wasn't a teenager at that point. She was probably older. I didn't really look into it too much, so. The Coreys were talking about this for 30 years. Yes, absolutely. And I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that to Kirk Cameron, and that's what drove him to religion. Like, there are the people who get out, and this is the thing, you have to wonder, like, if somebody gets out of a fucked up predatory situation, and the only tool they have to get them out is religion, and then the people who are doing this to them start to spin a narrative about how religion made them crazy, you have to wonder if that wasn't purposely done to distract people away from the real source of the problem. Because if Kirk Cameron wasn't in a predatory situation, he may never have gone to religion, at least not to the degree that he has, right? So that just raises more questions. Again, I know I can't prove any of this. I'm just thinking, you know, and it's like Jordan B. Peterson says, you know, thinking is very difficult without talking about it. So I'm talking to you guys about it because I'm working it out. It's just something I'm thinking about. I don't know like how true any of that is. I mean, it might not be at all. Maybe Kirk Cameron was always a crazy Christian. Maybe the Christians diddled him. I don't know. So, I mean, it's not like that doesn't happen. I swear to God, I wanted to respond to something. I can't remember what it was. Christy Winters plays a cleric of social justice in Pathfinder. Ugh. That's so cringy. Social justice takes the place of religion. Humans need mythology. If they don't get it from religion, they get it from ideologues. Yeah, I heard somebody talking about how superheroes are constructions, and I've heard this. I don't buy it though. Superheroes are being there's an attempt to turn superheroes into modern mythology to replace God. I don't know about that. Christy Winters is playing RPGs with V and Stanley is dead. What fucking timeline is this? Yeah, that's on V. V's the guy who wants to be friends with everybody, and I don't think that anyone has an obligation to do that. Like, talk to them, sure. You know, fight their ideas, of course. But be friends with them, you don't owe that to anyone. But whatever, you know. Maybe Chrissy Winters is a perfectly fine person, but no thanks. Somebody who's dishonest and, like, constantly misrepresents, has no empathy for men. No thank you. It could be that, but tragedy isn't the only thing that drives. Of course not. It could have been family that pushed him to it, or it was always there, but to a lesser degree. Sure. Kirk does vids with Ken Ham. Who's Ken Ham? Australian-born Christian fundamentalist. Okay. Kirk Cameron saved Christmas. Either Christianity or Scientology. I would choose the former. V is an evil sorceress obsessed with makeup. Ugh. +1 is celebrities pretty much messed. I believe that cryptids and other supernatural beliefs like that are modern mythology more so than superheroes. You mean, okay, but I mean, I think I heard there's an effort to make that. And you know, I could see it. I think superheroes are a modern mythology in the same way that they entertained us, just like the Roman mythology entertained the Romans. You know, like they didn't really worship those gods like the same way that people worship God today. You know, the Abrahamic gods. They didn't worship them that way in Rome. It was more like, it was more of a socio-cultural thing. And it was mainly for entertainment. And so people that's why the stories from the Roman mythology, which obviously comes from the Greek mythology, were like they were fun and exciting, but they weren't necessarily like authoritarian lessons per se. Didn't he found the Creationism Museum? Yeah, creationism's nuts. Creationist debated Bill Nye. Oh, that guy, Ken Ham, right. Well, whatever. Bill Nye's not much better since he believes that, you know, gender fluid is a thing. So again, you know, we're back at the which one is the worst religion. I mean, yeah, creationism is dumb, but as long as it's not like getting into, well, I know that it's in some schools, but as long as it doesn't get into like public schools, and like, you know, essentially like tries to be taught as truth, I'm not going to worry about it as much as social justice, which is taught in almost all schools, especially public ones, across the country. So I suspect that you could have a more stable, interesting discussion with Kirk Cameron than Bill Nye. Probably, yeah. I think Bill Nye would be like, Kirk Cameron would be probably less hostile too, I imagine. Paganism reigns supreme. All right, well, anyways, so this is where I'm at on the drawing. I am going to wrap it up because I've gone a little bit long. Yeah, Bill Nye's way gone. Way gone. And you know what? Part of it is ego. It's ego is the enemy. And I think the media and the entertainment industry made Bill Nye think that he was actually a fucking science guy when he only had a BFA or something like that. He's not even like that well trained. He's not actually a science guy. He wore the lab coat enough that he started to buy into his own bullshit. And they let him. And then they had him debate against creationists. And I get you don't need, you know, somebody with a PhD to debate a creationist. I get that. But they made him feel like he was the guy. They had him on the same level as Neil deGrasse Tyson, who actually has a PhD. Right? That's ego. They were just like turning his ego into a weapon. And then he started to believe his own shit. And they're doing the same thing with Neil deGrasse Tyson too. Because they make Neil deGrasse Tyson feel like he's an expert in everything because he happens to have a PhD in astrophysics, right? And that's not the same. That doesn't mean that Neil deGrasse Tyson can speak to gender. That doesn't mean that he can speak to other schools of science that are either only tangentially related to or not even at all related to his area of study. But they do that. They have him speak on racism and colonialism and sexism. They do that. They do it in a subtle way. Did you see Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos? I watched it. It's cringy as fuck. It's like full of like, you know, anti-religious stuff in it. It's like so blatant too. And here's the thing. It's not a bad series, but I think that the Carl Sagan one is much better, even though it's a lot older, and maybe the information is not the same. But the Carl Sagan one is a lot more intellectually like dense, and the Neil deGrasse Tyson version is a lot more like pop culture, like for anybody. It's cringe, you know, it's pretty cringe. And I think that one of the things I did like about Carl Sagan's. And I want to be very clear here. I'm not a religious person. I'm not. I'm not. I don't know if atheist is the right word to describe it, but I'm not a religious person. My mother is. She goes to church all the time. She's always asking me to go. I don't like it. I don't like the church personally, but I do see how it's helpful to people, right? And I don't disrespect religious people. I don't disrespect them. I think that religion is it's a reality we have to live with. It's just going to be here. I'm not an anti-theist at all, and I find anti-theists to be annoying at best, right? Like they're not as smart as they think they are. They think they are. They think that, you know, I don't believe in the sky, the guy in the bearded guy in the sky. That's stupid. Like, that's not smart. I'm not crazy about that. And a lot of times, most of the time, atheists turn out to be SJWs because they end up filling the hole of God with social justice. They just fill the hole with that. So Carl Sagan was very, very respectful to the religious by including, well, I wouldn't say including religion in the thing, but he didn't like use Cosmos to shit on religion. He used Cosmos to talk about the cosmos. That's it. So I appreciate that more because that is actually like, people are going to be religious in general no matter what. But if you care more about people just like having knowledge about the material world and how it works, if you care about that more than just debunking their Sky Daddy, okay, then you're going to actually reach more people if you just talk about the topic. And that's what Carl Sagan did. He just talked about the fucking cosmos. He didn't like go like, and that's why your God isn't real. You know, he didn't do that. He just was like, well, here's how the fourth dimension would work. Here's how a two-dimensional world would work. This is, you know, here's this, here's that. And it was good. It was challenging. It gave respect to the viewers by not treating them like morons. And it didn't like shit all over religion. And even though Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos is a lot, you know, like slicker, and it's got like the special effects and the CGI and, you know, all that, it's like, it's dumbed down too much for my taste, and it shits on religion at every opportunity. And it gets old. Like, you see what they're doing, you know, they're like, ah, okay, you know, like whatever. You know, it gets boring. So I'm not really a fan. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I just went. Shaman King says, how much progress have you made on all of your Derby girls so far? I think I'm done with them. Let's take a look here. So I'll start. Who is this? That's that one. So this is, well, I could ink this one, but it's pretty detailed. I could just put a layer on top and then just like fill it with ink, and then it'll be like an inked version. So I wouldn't have to actually ink it. So there's the cat. There's the one I just did. Oh yeah, that's just I'll delete this. I don't need it. Here's the goth chick. I did this yesterday with a little note. I like that one. There's the big girl. I made some changes on her, I think. Not in this image, though. It was in this image? No. This image. Yeah. I'll delete that. And delete this, too. And the leader. So, yeah, they're all done. So I'll do, tomorrow's Tuesday. It's going to be tough. I'm not going to be able to do a show, actually. I'm not going to be able to do a show tomorrow because I'm going to be interviewing on the main channel on Honey Badger live streams. I'm going to be interviewing Hannah Milling, who made that viral video that was going around on Twitter and YouTube called From Women to Men. If you guys know that video, called From Women to Men, it's one of those testimonial videos where women are all like apologizing for treating men like shit and, you know, for their part in the problems between men and women. And I thought it was a really interesting video, so I asked her to come on, and she's gonna come on, but she's in Sweden, so I have to talk to her at noon, because that's like 7 o'clock her time, and I have to appreciate that she's like, you know, making the time, so I gotta do that. So I'm not gonna have a stream tomorrow. So the next time I mean, yeah, there's no way. I mean, I might try to do something later tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I'm probably gonna have to just do it on Wednesday. And don't forget, Thursday I'm doing the request stream. Thursday is the request stream. My interview tomorrow is gonna be at noon. So Thursday, the request stream, I'll be going from noon to 3. If you have anything you want me to make, just send me a donation. The ones from my last donation stream, I'm going to be sending those out. I'm going to see if it'll let me do this, but I'm going to use PayPal to email them to the people who sent me stuff, or if I know them from Discord, I'll just send it right to them through Discord. I'll be sending those out. I'll just give them to you. I'm just going to clean them up a little bit and make them look a little bit nicer and then give them to you guys. So, all right. Yeah, I apologize on behalf of all women. Yeah, I miss me. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that that's necessary. We can just like talk about the problems. Like, I don't want to like put blame on anybody. Let's just fix the shit, okay? And that's kind of like my thought process on it. But we'll have a video tomorrow. Anyway, Thursday, if you want a drawing, send me the money. If you're not available, just send it anyway. Like Mr. 303 he asked me to do the cane, and he said he wasn't going to be around, so he just sent it to me beforehand, and I just did it on the stream anyways. So Luga, if you want something, just send me a PM, and you know, my Streamlabs is in the low bar, and I'll work on it on Wednesday. I'm sorry, is it Wednesday? Did I say? No, Thursday. I'll work on it on Thursday, and I'll get it done for you. So. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks for coming on the Comicsgate art stream. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I had a good time. I'll talk to you guys very soon. All right? Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share if you want. I don't know. Share the channel. Tell people to, if they're artists. There's my phone. I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys later. Hello? Hey. Louis? You mean Max? Yeah, Max is gone. Yeah.